Hey there, Ragnar. So this is gonna be kind of an unofficial video. I may post it just because I feel like I'm gonna put a lot of information here for you. I wanted to first thank you for watching my videos, and then second for commenting. It seems like you got the last couple ones, so it seems like you're just streaming through my channel, which I super appreciate. Um, but yeah, so thank you so much, number one, for watching. Thank you two for leaving comments and feedback. I really appreciate it. Sometimes, if I'm not sure if what I'm doing is like good or not good, and then you guys leave comments, and I feel a little bit better about myself. Anyway, so I'm gonna just answer your kind of questions, and then I'll break into the fight you wanted me to look at, and then from there, I can show you. I have some videos lined up for you up here to show you possible techniques or what I think the counter should look like if you're gonna go against this guy. I'm assuming, yeah, this guy, because he seemed to have won the fight. So I'm assuming you're going against this guy. If you're going against this guy over here, just do what this guy did, and you should be fine. So your first question here, tutorial twist clinch in the twist kick in the clinch would be cool. I understand kind of how to defend it and when it's thrown, but I personally cannot do the kick well, and so I'm a little bit hesitant to teach it, if that makes sense, because I can't do it myself. So I can maybe make a video for take home about like how I think you could throw it and the theory of my theory of how you could throw it, but it's not a kick I can personally use, so I'm not as comfortable explaining that and trying to teach it. The most I can probably do is show you the way if I were to do it, how to do it, and then maybe give you some videos that way. That'd probably be best. The second thing is so down here you were asking about you're asking about the I didn't comment soon enough. Oh, here it is. My training schedule is back in 2004. I am updating this, like I said, and if you want the real know-how on this, I know some people in the Philippines who have studied this pretty in-depthly, and they work with the national team there now, and so I can connect you guys if you're really interested in learning that stuff, and then they can make a program for you and all that, and they're really good at their job. I trust them completely. And then the second group, which I wrote about, was the Juice Compound. I was sponsored by them before, and then the Philippine national team was like, no, there's like a conflict of interest, so I couldn't stay with them. But all, like I said, they're all former national team members for Taekwondo, and they all of them took that deep dive into this SNC training. So if you're really looking for those answers, I would highly recommend Juice Compound. I'd get nothing from them. It's just I just know they know what they're doing. They're training Stephen Lambden. I believe they trained Healy for a while too. I think they trained Ishida. They train a lot of guys. They're really good at the job. So Ragnar, I would recommend them if you're really looking to get into that. Oh yeah, you commented down here, and then I wanted to break down this third fight for you. And yeah, Alex has some pretty good videos out there. I like what she's putting out, and I like her backstory too. She trained herself for a while, and she's coming up in AAU. She's doing a pretty good job. So anyway, I'll break down this fight for you, what I see, and then I'll give you, as you can see here, I have some stuff lined up for possible techniques, or at least the technique I want you to work on should you be going against this guy. Not really this guy. But yeah, let's get started. Hope you're staying safe during this whole pandemic thing. So you were right in that they are blending kind of like ITF rules here, and they are kind of blending ITF rules and WT rules, in that it's kind of only World Taekwondo kicks, but it's scored like ITF where you break, and so you don't have the, if I kick first and then he counters me, I can still follow up if I read the counter properly. It's kind of who tags who first, and so because of that, I'm going to lean a lot toward you should develop your front leg a little bit more. And then specifically, if you're this guy right here, if this guy, I know you said you're not in this fight, but he gets tagged a lot because he doesn't really motion that much. And initially, when he's trying to close the distance, he kind of has a lot of pre-steps. He stutter steps a little bit, and then he goes in. So there's a lot of tell before he actually goes in, which makes Red's job a lot easier, especially because it seems like Red's been training his front leg more than his Red's front leg is pretty adept. Nice try. Point. Red's doing a pretty good job pressuring. Pretty good also. Don't run straight in is a big one. So he also this player in white and red here doesn't really motion that much, or at least yeah, he doesn't motion that much, and his tail is kind of big. He has a big, like, pretty big pre-step. You can see, like, it's not small bounces and then a big bounce. It's not small bounces and then explode into the technique. It's small bounces and then he takes this huge deep step before he goes in. So it makes it really easy for Red, who's been training this front leg cut kick, to hit him. So no surprise there, he got caught. Nice try. So he explains that that was controlled. I would argue that white red actually just dodged the kick, but you know, I'm not the ref, so it is what it is. So what Red's doing here, his overall strategy, which is, I think you probably figured out on your own, is he goes forward with pressure a lot, and then on like the second you do run in, he like lifts his leg and just tags you. And because there's no risk reward situation in terms of, like, even if I read his defense properly, I can still score. It's about who's faster purely. I can see why, like, that situation, it's working for Red. And so something you can do to counter this yourself is a lot more motions. So you're gonna have to fake bounce in and out of his distance, and then fake on your way in the distance and try and get him to lift. This is for white. There's that big pre-step. If you're doing this in your kicks, try not to do this, man. The big telegraph. Oh wait, we have to go a little bit before so you can see how big the step is. Like I said, it's not you, but you can tell here it's easy for Red to read because small step and then that big step to try and get in, and then it's easy to see. Oh, not right here. Go back first. Also, I feel like it's going to be difficult going against this club and trying to win because, like, let's say, for example, in this situation, like, let's say even you, like, did a fake step and then you step back. Like, let's say you did a half step and you fully read it and then you step backwards, like, this way as the kick was coming up. I feel like the guy who's reffing it may call it as, like, oh, he controlled the kick against you, so that's, you know, like, we're gonna give the points to the other guy. I'm not sure if that's what happened exactly, but I feel like that may happen. And so you're after you fake, you have to make sure that you're clearing distance by a large margin to let the ref know that there's no way you would have been hit by the kick. So step one of beating this person over here in the black helmet, I'm just gonna call them black helmet, white helmet, because they're both wearing red. Step number one to beat this guy in the black helmet is you need to mess with the distance a little bit more, so a lot of in and out. I think I didn't pull up the video, but I can show you Kim Tae-hoon versus Ramnarong in 2015. That's a crazy match. That's like distance manipulation at the highest level. I'll put that here. I'll put that in the YouTube search bar. So, .com. Oh, the Yoon show's back. Kim Tae-hoon versus Ramnarong. I watched this one live. This was an amazing fight. 2015. That's the one in Chelyabinsk, right? That was Chelyabinsk. I don't think it was 2017. When was Chelyabinsk? That had to be 2015 Worlds. It's getting lost. Where'd it go? Oh man, I think the guy who posted it took it down. Shoot, okay, I can't. Oh, this is only 7 seconds long. No, it's not it. All right, man. Well, if you can find Kim Tae-hoon versus Thailand. Oh, semifinal though. I don't. Oh, was it the final? I think it had to be semifinals. Yeah, it's if you can find the 2015 match, I think it's a semifinal. Kim Tae-hoon versus Ramnarong at Worlds is that's a great match to fight. Anyway, let's continue here. Ramnarong does a great job sliding in and out of Kim Tae-hoon's distance, even though Kim Tae-hoon is like a head taller than him. And so with this guy, you want to be sliding in and out of his distance constantly. And when you slide into his distance, occasionally fake to get him to lift. And then after he's done lifting, that's when you want to go. I'll see if he shows an example here coming up. That's a good job. Kind of using his footwork here. And then he did a good job here also. This is the opportunity you're looking for. Fake, and then instead of so he's charging. The reason he gets hit is because he's charging with his full body instead of just using his leg to go in. And so if you're looking to fight this guy, then I would be looking for, right, like instead of going in with your body first, because he kind of has a full body lean before he kicks. If you want to go in with just your leg first, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then he kind of has a stutter step too. I don't want to. I'm pointing this out because if you're going against red, it's important you have good. If you're going against the black helmet guy, it's important you have good footwork. You can't just be running in like blue is or like white helmet is here. He took like 4 or 5 little stutter steps. Boom, stutter, 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 and then he gets hit. So if you want to stay lateral and have good footwork that way. Red kind of just going on offense now because he knows he's winning this by a big margin. Does he get any more? This is like right here. I'm gonna play this in half speed. This is where you want to be going. You're gonna be looking for the lift, especially because he does a lot of kicks in place, so he's pretty stationary. So here, just in the distance, block, block on this way down. That's when you want to be going. As he's putting his leg down, that's when you want to be shooting. One, two. As this leg is here, as it's like almost by your knee, that's when you want to take your front foot and be shooting up for a counter here or a counter there. But up. Let's continue with this. After this, I'm going to show you clips of techniques you could do during that time space. And so, you know, maybe practice those while, if you're quarantined like everyone is in California, something you can practice at home. That's time. All right, and he gets the trophy. All right, so number 1 is, oh, I just Googled Lauren Williams because that's what we're looking for. This guy we're looking for, where's the timestamp at? Timestamps are 7:12. 7:12, yeah. 7. So here, women's generally use their front leg more. So you're gonna want techniques like this. So something where you lift your knee up first and then shoot forward, because the game is a game of tag, and you can't accept he's gonna counter you and then try and follow up. You have to just be first, and so you want to practice getting your knee up first and then hopping forward for the kick. So knee up first and then hop forward with the kick. And the reason you want your knee up is kind of like it's like putting up your shield before charging in a battle. So they do a pretty good job of. Oh wait, that's too far. See how she like lifts and hops at the same time? That's the kind of technique you're gonna want to use against this guy. He does that against the other dude a lot, so You just want to make sure when you're doing it, it's as his legs coming down. Oh wait, there's a second example. It's okay, we'll skip that. This one for 448. See, also here is Lauren Williams. She does a lift first, so if he likes to slide back, another thing you can do to clear more distance, or if you're smaller than him and you have to clear more distance, is lift first, and then you want to do a two hop cut. So first is lift and you're hopping forward, and then extend. So lift and lift your knee and hop forward one, and then on the second hop you want to be extending your leg. And so I'll play this in slow motion so you can see what this looks like. Second lift. Yeah, you can see like 2 small hops out of her back leg. 1, actually, well, in this case only 1, but you want to lift first and then extend, push that leg out. And then the other one to watch here was at 150. Oh, there's a 2 hop. Yeah, this is the 2 hop cut I'm talking about. So she's gonna lift first. So in that case, if you were to since you lift first and you're sliding in, you're eating both the distance and you're taking away like kind of his reaction time. So if he were to lift now, as turkey, if like he were to lift now, his leg would be under your leg, and so if you hit him strong with that cut, you'd get the point first, or you can take this to the face, etc. But that's the idea. And then if he moves back, you can still try and reach for that second pump. So one more time. One, two. Yeah, so that's the kind of technique you can work on at home. If you're really ambitious, what you can try is also Jack Woolley's timing. And this is from my own video watching Jack Woolley from US Open. This is the same timing as, I'm not sure if you're smaller or taller than this guy, but if you're smaller, as the leg's coming down, that's when Jack Woolley is hopping in. So in this case, because you can't exchange the 1-for-1, you have to motion and fake at him until he gets after he extends and put his leg down, and then you want to hop forward the way Jack is doing here. That's when he hops. I mean, Jack is he's qualified for 2020 Olympics. He has super strong legs, so he doesn't need to put his leg down. So in your case, you don't need to hop backwards like this. You can just motion at him, lean out of the way, or slide back a little bit with both your feet on the floor, and then hop forward. Jack doesn't put his foot down, but Jack's also like superhuman, so you don't really need to do that. But the motion, hop, like wait for his first leg to come down, and then hop forward the way he's doing here. This is at 235 if you want to watch this on my video. There, and boom. And so you can go for his face, you can go for a body. At that kind of a tournament, I feel like if you just have a hard snap on the body, you'll probably get the point for that. I think another example is hand-to-pour here, yeah. So I didn't write it down. Oops. Another thing you can do is hopping forward, just like hand-to-pour does here. I think he does a double cut here too. For Sengolani, 1. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, so yeah, I cut this one just so it's another idea. You don't have to do a cut. You can flick it to the front. Excuse me. And yeah, that's about it, man. Like if I were to beat that guy, that's what I'd tell you. Just wait for his leg to come down and then shoot forward with your own front foot. If you don't have that front foot like snake style kick yet, I would recommend taking this time while we're on quarantine to maybe practice it. The way I generally tell people to practice it is practice lifting first and then hopping forward. And then as you get that down, then try and make it one motion. So you're lifting and hopping at the same time. And the idea behind doing that is, one, it's like putting your shield up first before you charge forward. And then the second one is if you're able to do that with your cut kick, as in a lift and then hop forward, then that motion is also the same for if you lift, cut forward, and cut. That looks the same as you're lifting and doing a roundhouse. And so kind of confuses your opponent a little bit, makes it harder to defend. And so that's the technique I would work on at home for you. If you have any more questions, man, feel free to shoot it into the comments. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can. For some reason, YouTube, I didn't get to see your other comments for like a while. But yeah, stay safe during this whole thing. Thank you again for commenting. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, see you. You want to see you, man. Thank you again.